Thanks for tuning in to Red Belt Radio. The following episode is scheduled for one fall. I'm Jason, and this show is dedicated to World Wonder Ring Stardom. Today I'm covering the struggles faced by wrestler Suzu Suzuki since signing with Stardom, including disparaging comments that have been made online, comments that are critical of wrestlers who supposedly don't appear sufficiently thin or beautiful, comments that have annoyed Suzu to say the least. Suzu spoke out against online harassment on January 3rd via social media, where she said, "I'm risking my life and wrestling seriously. Words can easily kill people." In the same post, Suzu also stated, "Just because one person says it doesn't mean it's okay for you to say it too. And just because everyone is saying it doesn't mean it's not scary." We will go into further detail about Suzu's social media post later. But first we need to explore Suzu Suzuki's rocky path through Stardom and her current status quo. For Suzu, a number of course corrections and difficulties have emerged along the way. If you find these transmissions valuable, please give this a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. Suzu Suzuki turned heads in Stardom in a major way with her appearance alongside Prominence at Nagoya Supreme Fight on January 29, 2022. Immediately, Suzu grabbed the attention of Stardom fans by having a number of major attributes. First, Suzu had a very personal, flammable mission to take down Giulia, a former friend from their days in Ice Ribbon. Instantly, Suzu became part of an emotional story, one in which she sought revenge against the person who had abandoned her. Instantly, Suzu had someone in her sights that made a ton of sense. Next, Suzu had her experience and familiarity with death matches and hardcore matches. This allowed Stardom to book Suzu and her pals in Prominence to take on more extreme matches and perform more unique spots. Lastly, Suzu had Prominence itself, a unit known for its gritty performances and crass demeanor, and a unit that could clash and contrast with the established Stardom factions. After a very successful and motivated 2022, these attributes began to fade more and more for Suzu. Giulia moved on to other feuds such as Maya Yukihi and Tam Nakano. Suzu was then limited to one hardcore match in Stardom for 2023, and from there was relegated to mostly the tag and tournament scene. Also, Suzu left Prominence behind to officially sign on as a Stardom wrestler. Suzu's greatest 2023 accomplishment, winning the 5-star Grand Prix, was not incredibly well received. Optimism within the fanbase had already taken a hit due to 3 wrestlers having to drop out of the tournament that year. What's more, Suzu's opponent and rival at the time, Maika, had spent years performing in Stardom, had a faction alignment, and had storylines that fans cared about. This led to Maika receiving massively higher amounts of crowd support when facing Suzu, who had almost none of those things. And yet the tournament result implied that Suzu was still going to be pushed further and faster. Things get a bit complicated here, as Suzu's 2023 Red Belt title challenge against Tam Nakano was cancelled due to Tam's knee injury and vacating of the title, and Maika was brought back into the picture to contend with Suzu for the belt. There has been some speculation that Suzu's 2023 success had been orchestrated by Stardom founder Rossi Ogawa, and that somewhere along the line, Bushiroad, the company that owns Stardom, intervened to place Maika at the top of the mountain instead. Suzu returned to the tag scene in 2024, now dealing with the news that Giulia would again be abandoning their shared wrestling promotion. After about 2 months as a Goddess of Stardom champion, Suzu took time off to recover from an injury. Suzu Suzuki returned in time to fight in the 2024 5-star, and I have always wondered if she had been given enough opportunity to rest up beforehand. Perhaps being the tournament's previous winner was a source of obligation, and perhaps she felt pressured to make a follow-up appearance. After the tournament, Suzu was given the Tam Nakano title match she had missed in 2023. But the result was much different than it likely would have been previously. Suzu not only lost the match, She temporarily lost her hearing as well. Despite becoming a member of Neo Genesis in 2024, Suzu has always felt a little bit different than her teammates, at least stylistically and in terms of personality. This is roughly the point in time where Suzu's appearance began receiving criticism from viewers online. Maybe it goes without saying, but this type of criticism is neither necessary nor helpful. My current theory is that Suzu intentionally sought to add size to her frame in order to mitigate the likelihood of future injuries. Her online statement from January 3rd seems to perhaps imply this. I will now read Suzu's full post from the 3rd, which has been translated and paraphrased. I'm not fighting in a dimension where looks, being thin, or having a good style matter. If the pro wrestling world has become one where people gain popularity just based on their visuals, then I think it's already over. I'm risking my life and wrestling seriously. Words can easily kill people. If there are people who think this person looks strong and won't be hurt by what I say, you could try not to care, but you can't avoid getting hurt. Just because one person says it doesn't mean it's okay for you to say it too. And just because everyone is saying it doesn't mean it's not scary. I don't like posting stuff like this, and it frustrates me that I even have to say it given the current situation. The world where online defamation has become normal is really hopeless. While we don't know the specific comments Suzu was responding to, they do seem to be out there if you start looking. And based on what Suzu posted, there seem to have been multiple instances of online defamation and commentary on wrestlers appearing thin or having visual appeal. Also, these comments have affected Suzu Suzuki, even though she's tried not to let them. This marks the second time that I've had to cover a situation where a Stardom wrestler was harmed by the words or actions of a spectator. The number of situations like this that exist should be zero. While I'm sure almost no one watching this would try to upset the wrestlers in Stardom, please do consider that they are sacrificing a lot to continually perform for us. And if you have time to do so, let them know they are appreciated and have fans all over the world. Suzu Suzuki is scheduled to challenge Sayakami Tani in February for the Red Belt Championship. If this start to 2025 is any indication, Suzu may be poised to bounce back in a major way. She is still very young and has a lot left to achieve. What do you think of Suzu Suzuki's Stardom journey so far? Do you expect any profound changes for her career in 2025? And why do you think online defamation like the type described by Suzu still occurs? If you find these transmissions valuable, please give this a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. Thanks for listening to Red Belt Radio.